is Milian Chen, and I'm from Project KELP. It's very nice to talk with you today.
Likewise, thank you.
So the first order of business is, what does sustainability mean to you?
So sustainability, I think, will actually slowly become an antiquated word because it's got the root word of sustaining what we had, but we don't have that anymore. But it should, for me, it means making sure all the systems of our world are working harmoniously and optimally with respect given to nature. Yeah, that's what it means to me. I do suspect the word might change though at some point.
I agree. It's very for environment and the whole world around us.
Yeah, exactly. Respecting it and treating it well, because we truly are guardians for future generations. It's not ours to keep. Or nor exploit. Even though our predecessors may have done that, it's well, they did it, so we can continue doing that doesn't fly. I think we can always strive to do better, especially corporations.
The second question is, what steps do you think we could take to improve inclusivity in this sector?
Yeah. That's a really important question, I think, because like the first report citing climate change or observing it and changes, significant changes, the alarm bell, I guess, if you will, was in 1990, which just boggles my mind. I would have been in junior high at that point, and that's a long time ago. So the fact that there are places that we do have those considerations going on is great. So, thinking about removing plastic straws is somewhat a move, but we have to think about how all these changing factors are affecting developing nations. The hardest is particularly the ones around the equator, which is so tragic because they have been quite exploited from their resources, and that they're bearing a lot of the brunt of this climate crisis is it's just doubly ironic. So I think keeping in mind of how to make these environmental choices available for everyone economically, across ages. Yeah, it's a very loaded question, I think, because it's hard to pick and choose. But that being said, when I had I had family members in the hospital in 2010 for months, and I remember seeing how much plastic was necessary for single-use items and all the packaging that came to make sure it was sterile. And in some way I sort of understood that. Yeah. But then when I flipped it and I would go to the cafeteria and I would see all these plastic utensils and plastic everything, almost just, again, to give it this feel of being sterile or clean, that really upset me because I was like, well, yes, okay, plastic is actually, it is a wonderful invention, but now we're using it to prioritize, I don't know, I guess, ease.
Like, for the human benefit?
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to what it could be. Like, its highest use would be medical procedures.
Yes.
So, I guess starting with people using reusable bottles, making clean drinking water accessible to all. And I know that's another big issue in Canada, where a lot of, Indigenous communities do not have access to that. So, yeah, it's as I said, very loaded question.
It's a tough
but
one.
but we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere.
Definitely.
So,
It's like, starting somewhere and then going large scale about all of it and understanding that it's all connected and this like affects this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then I think, as we discussed before, that it allows people to become aware of their choices. If they're like, the way that you do something in one part of your life is the way that you'll do it in almost all parts of your life. So that if you start, bringing your water bottle with you everywhere, maybe you'll reconsider taking that plastic fork, and you realize that you have another way of consuming that. So.
Yeah. Choices that we make.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Also, as someone who's gone through a couple medical procedures, you definitely see how using plastic in that way could benefit, and I think it's a pretty big understanding to say that it's how you use that plastic.
Yes.
And if you, like, even if the bag is made out of plastic, but you use it so many more times, then it adds on to helping it. You're using a plastic bag, but you're helping the planet in that way by reusing it many times.
And preventing the usage of yet another bag. Yeah, exactly. Consuming less. Yeah.
And the last question is, what do you think we can all do every day to help our planet? I know we kind of touched on that with the bottles and the mindset, but...
So I'll share some things that have actually been very successful for me that are overlooked. So one is getting a shaving bar. So instead of buying shaving cream that come in the cans, the spray cans, which really there's not much product in there, and sometimes when you put out, like, too much product comes out. Clearly one option is to not to shave, but if you don't ascribe to that, understandable. There is a bar that I bought honestly about 6 years ago, and I still have the bar and I still use it. I know. It really cost me maybe like $4.
Oh.
Nothing. So I bought it at the soap dispensary, which is on
on
Main Street. I love that store. So soap dispensary is great. Nada Groceries is great. So those are two things. That's one thing that I've done that it just makes me sad anytime I go into into Shoppers Drug Mart, because not only is it cheaper for us, it feels way better on my skin. It's not offensive smelling. Like, I don't get like rose garden up my nose. And then it's so fantastic for the planet, because I don't know how many cans I would have bought in that interim, right, of 6 years, like at least 6 probably, right? So that's one way that I think we could all incorporate basically hygiene into our everyday lives. I have a friend who bought the reusable Q-tip.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to ask her how it went. But basically, like, you're supposed to buy this thing once and use it, and then, like, just rinse it out and sanitize it afterwards. So there are a lot of products like that. I think that could reduce our need for so much single-use plastic. Going to soap dispensary and Nada has been time-consuming. So I do wish that we could have more options, like in neighborhoods and communities. There used to be one in Yale Town. That's actually how I got into buying lotion and detergent, just by bringing in my own packaging. But unfortunately, they closed down. So now I'm thinking maybe I should revive that business and become a business owner myself. I think this might, but I don't know. Anyways, so I think that would be one way, and also packing your own reusable utensils, bottle, using recycled paper wherever possible. Regifting is also fantastic. I think those are the ones that I have. And also, I should say, doing your research when you shop products and supporting products that are not greenwashed, but rather are ethically doing their best that they can for the environment. So Patagonia is one.
Like transparency and all the steps of the whole process, and being like transparent about that.
Exactly, and also contributing back to initiatives in the community that are Another one that's local is I think it's pronounced laundry. I don't know. It's a bathing suit company, and recycle plastic from the ocean into their bathing suits. And they're also, I really appreciate their marketing, because they're like, well, buy from us. We're having a sale, great prices, but only buy from us if you need it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. So even though I'm like, ooh, I'm tempted, I want to support you, but I'm like, no, I'm supporting you by not buying, because I don't need anything right now. So yeah.
I like that choice of like telling the customer to say that we have these great things, and when you want them, you can buy them.
Exactly. Yes.
For you.
Yes, exactly. And then that way, when you are compelled to buy something, and that flies in the face of these fast fashion companies, because that's a whole nother area that's just really heartbreaking. So
it's also fun because this shirt I'm wearing today, Protect Our Future, is also made from plastic bottles.
Oh, amazing. That's so great.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of that company?
Castfell, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
Castfell. Okay.
It's like orange and
okay,
it's
lovely.
a K.
Yeah. Oh, okay, with a K.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think Nata Grocery recently moved online. So they're doing like online orders from now. So
okay, get this. They don't only do online orders. I don't think they come out this way, but they've delivered to me.
Oh.
By bike.
Oh, really?
Yes. So if you place an order of over $50, you can choose a day that they'll be in your area to deliver, because they do bulk delivering on this bike.
Oh.
I know. I know. I'm like, yay. And then, of course, like, I love taking my things back. They did have to put a cap on how many bottles they were taking back in packaging, because I think people started using them almost as a recycling center. So, but it's they really care. You go there and you can see they truly care. So I hope they stay in business, just because I know everyone's costs are skyrocketing right now with inflation. So, but you know what? This is also a really good time for people to start practicing ways to reduce consumption, which is helping the environment. So, for example, my sister and I are doing a no buy June. So we're not buying anything superfluous, that any clothing, whatever that we don't need. And then we're going to transfer that onto a no buy July. So like maybe we'll just do a no buy last half of 2023. I have other friends who are doing more vegan days. Because they just don't want to buy the meat right now. It's quite expensive, right? So maybe this time of economic distress actually has a bit of a silver lining.
There's a chance for people to see that they like differences that they could make
Exactly.
every day.
Yes, and sometimes out of necessity, but hopefully those habits carry on. Yeah.
It's awesome to hear.
I think so too. And I'm also very much inspired by students like you, truly, for having this on the forefront and making it something accessible for peers, something for them to think about, and pausing to stop and just have that awareness of what's going on in their own community. So huge kudos to you, Milian. Like, honestly, it's not easy. But I think it's very important.
I will keep trying my best.
I know, you are. It's amazing.
Thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you.
This is Miss T, by the way.